I'm not sure what I anticipated when I entered that restaurant, but it was precisely how I remembered it, softly illuminated, with golden sconces running the length of the stone walls. Italian ballads played faintly in the background, and there was that quiet, peaceful warmth you just can't manufacture. I had booked a table for 6, thinking perhaps this birthday would be different. Not extravagant, not spectacular, just ordinary. Simply something that made me feel loved and cared for. I wore the navy blue shirt Maureen said brought out the green in my eyes. I didn't just tuck it into dark pants and spritz on cologne by habit. I chose the cedar and sandalwood scent she liked. That old tendency, trying to make things nice. I've always liked arriving early. There's something about watching people walk in, eyes searching for someone, faces lighting up with surprise. But tonight, there was none of that. Just silence. The hostess smiled when I greeted her, and I smiled back. "Ah, yes, table by the window," she said. I followed her. "Let us know when your party arrives." I glanced at the one beside the canal where fairy lights blinked gently across the lake. "Will do," I said. But they didn't arrive. 10 minutes passed, then 20. I checked my messages. No texts from Marin, no traffic updates, no delays. Not even a thumbs-up emoji. I told myself not to spiral. Maybe they'd burst through the door laughing, arms wide, apologies ready. Maybe Gavin had planned something chaotic. He was always the kind to turn mess into magic. Marin would tease, "We're just lightening up," and they'd laugh because they got along so well. "You take everything so seriously, Miles," she'd say. A server appeared with the wine list. "No, I'll wait for the others," I said, with a forced smile. An hour later, my phone lay face up on the white linen, screen still blank. The server returned with a glass of water, his tone softer this time. "While you wait, can I bring you anything?" "Just the bread," I said. My eyes burned. I stared at the door too long. I tried not to cry. I started counting the bricks in the wall behind the hostess stand. 38. Little things, patterns, logic, control. 2 hours passed. I broke my promise to myself and picked up the phone. It rang twice before it clicked, but it wasn't. Marin's voice. It was Gavin. I froze, thinking I had dialed the wrong number, but then I heard it. Marin's ringtone, her wallpaper. Gavin's laugh, low and theatrical. "You always make it about yourself, man," he said like it was the punchline to a joke. "We had brunch without you." He laughed again. I didn't. I hung up. I wasn't angry. Not yet. I just stared at the screen, feeling my heartbeat in my throat. I wasn't even sad. Just hollow, like someone had scooped the trust out of me. The waiter returned. "Sir, would you like to eat?" I shook my head. "No, just the bill. For the bread." He looked surprised but nodded, and then I did something unexpected. I took out my phone, opened the camera, snapped a photo. I was barely smiling, but my eyes were telling the truth. In the background, a few co-workers from across the street were just arriving, laughing, clinking glasses. I didn't realize how badly I needed to not feel invisible until Jules saw me through the window and waved. I waved back, and something clicked. I paid the bill and crossed the cobblestone street to the pub where they were celebrating. I wasn't in the mood. I wasn't dressed for it. But when Jules shouted, "Join us!" I did. I needed something. A reminder that I wasn't forgotten. A colleague pulled me in. "Yeah, why not?" someone said. A drink was placed in my hand. "Yas." "Look like you've got something to celebrate," I shrugged. "It's my birthday," and the whole table exploded in laughter. "No way. Buy him a cake. Why didn't you say anything?" 10 minutes later, a tiny chocolate cake appeared, pulled from the fridge. A single tea light candle stuck in the center, left over from the marketing party. Gavin handed me a plastic spoon. Make a wish. But I didn't wish for Marin to call. I didn't want an apology. I just wanted to remember this moment. Not the pain, but the clarity. The truth that settled in my chest like a brick. I took a photo of the cake, the co-workers, the string lights above. I wrote a short caption. Best birthday ever. It wasn't revenge. It wasn't petty. It was a quiet reminder. You forgot me, but I didn't. 10 minutes later, my phone rang again. This time, it was Marin, and that was the beginning of the storm. I stared at her name, fingers hovering over the screen. I wasn't ready. Before I could speak, her voice exploded. Do you think that post was funny, Miles? She was yelling already. No hello, no concern, just fury. Are you serious right now? Do you know how that looked? Everyone saw it, my coworkers, your boss, my boss, Miles. Even my aunt texted, she said. I stared at the wall, jaw clenched. That's when I realized. It wasn't about me being alone. It wasn't about forgetting my birthday. It was about her image. I said nothing, so she scoffed. Oh, come on, don't start. You know how busy things have been? We didn't mean anything by it. Gavin dropped by, we had brunch. I thought we'd talk later, but no. You had to make a big deal online. Now I'm the villain. I could feel my fingers shaking, but my voice stayed calm. Marin, I sat at that table for 2 hours. In the outfit you liked. I called you. Your brother answered your phone and mocked me. Oh my God, it was a joke. You're so sensitive. You always turn things into a tragic sob story, and there it was. The script. I was the problem. My feelings. Too dramatic. Her actions. Always excusable. Was it also a joke, I said, to not tell me you weren't coming? Silence. Do you even know what day it is? I asked. She snapped. I was going to surprise you later, but forget it now. I nearly laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was insulting. You left me, I said. This isn't performance. This is what happened. She fell silent again, breathing hard. I could hear her choosing which mask to put on next. But I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I just let the silence hang. It told me everything. This wasn't love. Not anymore. I was just another prop in her carefully curated story. But the moment I stepped out of the frame, the moment I posted without the perfect caption, I became a liability. I'm done, I said softly. Oh, please, she scoffed. You think you're so mature because you sat alone at a restaurant? I took a breath. Looked out the window. Down below,